Hi, welcome to my channel, Create with Steve I. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we're going to do a plan with me video. So we are going to do a plan with me. This is actually the last week of full week of June. There are a couple, the next week will be, or the following week after this one will be in my 6-month planner because that will be in July. So once this week is completed, this is the final week in my very first ever happy planner. So it will be completely done and I will have completed one whole happy planner, which is amazing. I'm so excited. So anyway, this week the theme is going to be Egypt. I got this pet tape. I think it was from Soto Studios or from, I don't remember exactly which company did it. I'm going to try and find it so I can link it below if it's still available. There's this one, and then there's this strip, which is fun. It's a really fun pet tape. So I had the idea that what I want to do is I want to use this one, this blue, and I want to do sky up in this quadrant, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a river down this way for the Nile River, and then I'm going to do brown around the rest of it for sand. So we'll see how it turns out. It may not turn out exactly how I want it. However, this is going to be a progressive thing because I can do this side of the sponge and this side of the sponge for the colors or whatever, but I can't do all three with the same sponge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the two different blues for the sky and then for the river, and then I'm going to wash it and let it dry, and when it's dry I will come back and do the rest of that, and then I will let all of that dry, and when it's done, or when it's dry, I will do the actual plan with me. So it's going to be a progressive thing. So let's start with the sky. How are you all doing? I hope you're well. I hope it's nice and warm where you're at, where I'm at. Unfortunately, sadly, it is chilly, it's rainy. All right, there's a little bit of, a friend of mine lent me this, there's a little bit of yellow in it. So it's getting a little bit of green color in the sky, which I'm not loving, but that's okay. I can put some other colors in there. Okay. I'm actually going to put this down because I don't want to get the ink on my desk. So I can use this. My glue mat, as I call it. I probably should have used some of this. Man. I just want to add a little bit of color to represent sky. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be anything major. I wish this greenish color was out of there, but I don't know. There's nothing I can do about that, so that's okay. All right, so this, a little bit of blue to represent some sky over here. And then I am going to use, oops, I'll put this one back. And then I'm going to use I have some of the distress inks here. I'm going to use the peacock feather to represent the Nile River. I'm sure the Nile River is brown and muddy looking. I've never actually seen it, I don't think, but I would guess that it would be brown and muddy. So I'm going to, so I'm not, it's not going to actually be um, realistic by any stretch, but I just wanted it to, kind of flow. I wanted it to have kind of a flow to it, kind of represent it. Kind of like that. Oops, I'm sorry. Can you see this? So I kind of like the streaked look because it kind of gives it the feel of it flowing. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry and I'm going to go clean my sponge and then I will come back and do the rest of the area all brown for the sand. Kind of give it a brown color. Although, this is pretty dark and that's pretty light. So maybe I'll add some more blue up there. All right, that's a little better. Okay, so I will let those dry and then I'll be back. Okay, so it is now dry. The sponge is dry, so I can do some stamping on the rest of the place. I'm going to do this brown, try to do it on the lighter side to kind of like give the impression of sand. Sorry, I'm hitting that on accident. All right, I'm just going to dab it there just to try to keep it from getting too clumpy, I guess. I'm not really good at this stamping thing or at this inking. I don't have to be great at it, I guess. A it's just for a little background color. It's probably going to blend in when I write over it and add the stickers and stuff. It probably won't. Um, it'll look better once everything's there. I was kind of looking at it going, ugh, it didn't work out very well. I had this idea in my mind, of course, but that's okay. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. So this is just an example of just something you can tell yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it's okay if it's not perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. We're not perfect. That's okay. We're just adults playing with stickers. It's not that serious. you know? It's now sunny. Earlier it was kind of overcast and chilly. It's still a little chilly, but it's sunny. The sun's out, and so I have my windows open. We have a camp here, and there's a lot of youth, and so you might hear them hollering and screaming and running around and stuff like that. So just so you know, if you hear them, that's what's going on. We got a camp here this weekend. So most of them are arriving today and are in the process of arriving. Some of them arrived last night. So this is looking okay. It's not looking bad. It doesn't look bad. I don't want it to be too clumpy, but I do want it to just add a little color. I don't have a sand colored ink, so I just have to I'm using this one, this Distress ink vintage photo, and I'm just doing it lightly to kind of give the impression of sand, which I think it does its trick. I think it's doing what it's meant to, what I want it to. All right, so that is kind of like the background. Of course, you're not going to notice it quite as much once I get everything else on there. It's just kind of hopefully going to blend together and look good. But anyway, so I'm going to let that sit and rest and dry. It does not take long to dry. I could probably start working on it now, but I'm going to let that sit and dry for a little bit, and then I will be back on here in a little bit and finish up, put the stickers and get it all ready for the week. So anyway, thanks for joining me on this progressive one. I will see you soon. Okay, so we are going to finish this spread. All right, so we'll see how it all turns out. All right, so to start with, I am going to add the dates to the top, and this week that we're in now ends on the 22nd. So I am going to use this book, the remnants of this book, to put all this down. I'm going to put all these dates down. Okay. It's 23rd, so just wanted to make sure that I was reading that right. 24. And then 25. I got to go down here. And 26. It has turned out to be a really beautiful day at the moment. The sun is out, it's warm. I had my windows open for a while, but because this video is going to, or this portion of the video is going to be longer, I decided to close my windows just because there's kids running around and stuff to try to hamper some of the sound of them playing, which is okay. I don't mind hearing them play, but I want to keep it quieter for you all. So I closed my windows and I'll open them back up. It is looking like a storm is coming in. It might end up raining in a little bit, but as of right now, the sun is out and it's beautiful, which is nice because this morning it was pretty chilly. And I ripped a portion of the two, so I'm trying to get this up here so that I can put that together. Wow, that worked a little better than I thought it was going to. Not that it was great, but it works a little better. All right, so the final one is the 29th. Can you believe it? The end of June already. The year's about half over. I can't believe how quick this year has gone. Or is going, I should say. Not gone, but is going. Okay, so let us find a, you all know me. And of course, I always forget that book, so let me be right back. I always forget the Amber Plans Her Day Bible Journaling Volume 3 book because there is a gratitude sticker and a church sticker, and I like to use both of them. So, okay, so for this one, I'm going to use these brown stickers. I want to think there are like this one. I mean, they're not a perfect color. I think I'll use this one. I use them for my gratitude, of course. If you've been here with me, you know that's what I like to do. And then I'm going to put gratitude up there. So let's find the gratitude section in here. There is a gratitude section. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. There we go. And then I'm going to put a box down here for my quote for the day, or for the month, or the week, month. For the week, it is going to be it was the one I was going to use last week, but ended up not using. It's from a movie called Impact, which was a film noir, and it says, "Bitterness and hatred hurt everyone. Can't you see that, Bill? Or can't you see, Bill? They're like a wall that shuts out the sunshine." I thought that was a really good quote, so I wanted to use that here. So I am going to put that there, and then I'm going to put this here. But before I do, what I had in my mind was, with this strip, this guy right here, this pharaoh, I want to put the pharaoh right here. And I'm going to put the quote kind of overlapping him like that. So that's kind of how I was envisioning that. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do it. So I am going to get my scissors. We're going to get both scissors, actually, and I need my... I don't want that to go anywhere. I think because I'm gluing over the top of a sticker, instead of using the glue stick that I usually use, I'm going to use the double-sided tape, because I think that's going to work better here in this instance. So I'm just going to trim this down a little bit. I like to be able to write around the sticker, so I just want to make sure that there's room to do so if I decide to. So, and I want to pull up this guy. Can you hear the kids screaming and having fun? Okay, so I am going to put him just like that, ruling over his kingdom. And then I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. And then let's pull out the double-sided tape to go over. Some people use tape runners and stuff like that. I have never used them. I've heard good things about them. I've just never used them. So I have double-sided tape, and that's what I'm going to use. Okay, so I'm going to put this right like that. Okay. And then I kind of want to use this woman. You can't see this, but I want to use this woman to be his queen over here. I will figure that out exactly how I want to do that. I'm trying to think of the different ones I want to use. Like this one might be fun. This little scene here might be fun. Maybe over here. I definitely want to add this water or this boat here in the water. And I was thinking maybe this one over here too. And then I could put the woman right there. And I definitely want this one up here. Maybe I'll put that over here. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe this one over here. Well, maybe not. I don't know. There's different ones. There's lots of cool ones, and I'd like to use them all. I would definitely want to use this guy. I'd love to use the cat, but I don't know if I'm going to. So we'll see. Maybe before I get all that going. Well, I'll put this stuff down here, kind of do this scene a little bit down here, and then I will, then we'll see. I'll put the stuff I've planned for the week down. I'll put the plans down so that I know how much room I have and what other things I've got. I like to use this as my journal as well, so I want to make sure that there's room for journaling. Okay. So all right, I want to put this over here. It's decided it wants to go there. I hate that when it... Okay. Okay, so there. And then I'll put this one. Okay, so we'll move that out of the way and we'll put this one. I'm thinking like over here. Well, maybe over here. And then putting the queen like right there. So that's kind of my idea. So let's do it and just see how it turns out. I'm either going to like it or I'm not, but it's not going to matter too much because, you know, if it doesn't, it's not going to turn out exactly. They never ever turn out exactly the way they're envisioned, you know what I'm saying? But it'll still look cool. Okay. There's so many stickers in this pet tape that are really cool that I would love to use. I just, you know, I don't have the room for them all, which is okay because I can do another Egyptian spread some other time. I just like to cut away some of the excess because I like to journal around. Okay, I'm gonna put her. That'll be okay. I think that'll be all right. Okay, so I'm gonna put her there. Okay, so then let us put down the boxes we need for the week. Okay, so actually I just got a great idea to cover this up with a box for that week because I always need a big box on Tuesdays. So that's actually going to work out okay. And I'm going to use some of these that have some of the gold in them to use them up. Okay, so by doing that, it just looks like the river flows from it. And I can put another box over here. Let's see what I can find. Actually, this one will be fine. I'll put this one right here. Okay, so let me write in here. We have our 9:15 staff meeting every Monday. I have 9:15 intercession. 2 p.m. soup kitchen. And then I think it's about 1, we have a camp coming. Eight p.m. is games at the Roberts. I know that here I have 8 p.m. movie at the Roberts. What else do I have going on that week? I've got 8:20 a.m. doctor visit and 4 p.m. teeth cleaning. Okay, so on Thursday, we have 9:15 worship and intercession, and then the camp leaves. And then Friday, I need a reminder because I have friends coming over on Sunday night for dinner, and I need to make bread, and so I like to start it one evening and bake it the following. So start bread for dinner Sunday, and then Saturday we have, I've been using most of my smaller boxes just because I like smaller boxes better than the bigger ones, honestly. So those go pretty quickly. Okay, so Saturday is 8:20 men's breakfast. And then my friend's birthday. And then, well, I'm probably going to be going to the Andersons for a movie that night, but I don't know that quite yet, so I'm not going to write it down until I know for sure. This day, I'm probably going to be doing a movie with my friend Rachel and her friend, well, our friend Rachel and my friend Rachel and Christina. Sorry, I can't even talk today. I'm most likely doing a movie then, but I don't know that 100% quite yet, so I'm not going to put that on there yet. And then I will go down here and do 6 p.m. dinner with Patty and Christy. And then I'm also going to put church there because we have church that day. Or I have church that day, I should say. I'm actually going to put that right there like that. Okay. Is that all I have? Let me look at my on-the-go planner just in case there's something else going on. Nope, that's all I've got. So as far as I know, that's what my week looks like. Now it may change a little bit here and there, but as far as I know, that is everything I have for sure. So I really want to add those two. I don't like these eye stickers, so I'm not going to use those. But I do want to use this pyramid one. So I'm thinking maybe the cat up there. I'm thinking maybe, because I've got some of this down here, I'm thinking maybe use some of this stuff up here. And then use the rest of down here for just journaling. So, okay, so that's kind of my idea. So let's see how I can get this to go. Let's see if I can get this to work out okay. All right. Oh no, I ripped the sticker. I'll have to fix his ear. There we go. That was almost perfect. Fix his little ear up there. Let's put this guy right here. Should I put him? No, that's not going to work. That won't work. Okay, so that's the only place I can put him. So let's put this guy right over there. Okay. Should that go over there in the background? Actually, that would look good like that, so I think I'm going to do that. Oops, I want to cut some more of this excess off. All right. And then let me see what else I have that I can put up there. This would look pretty cool up there. Let me see what else I have. I don't want to... I've got a lot of different things. These little beetles can go up here somewhere. I like these urns. Those might look nice up there. Although these sarcophaguses would look pretty nice, but they're too tall. I really wanted to put this guy, the Sphinx, on here. Maybe I'll wait. And I really wanted to use this one. Will that fit? That's a little too big. Will that fit here? It's too big. Let me see what else I have. This is really cool, but I think that might be too big too. Yeah, that's too big. Okay, so some of these are too big. So let me start with this one. Okay, I'm not going to use any more people. I think the two are okay. Or the two big people is what I'm saying, because there are people in other ones, but I think those are all right. Okay, I think that will look good up there. I think I'm gonna try. Oh, maybe I'll put one of these urns. I'll put one of these urns up here, and I'll put one of the beetles there, and maybe I'll put a beetle on the other side. Some of these stickers are really kind of precarious to pull up. I think I'll do this guy. Oops. Okay. I think those will be okay. And then I'll put this beetle right here, right there. I think that's going to be good for now. I don't have anything small that I could put here. So I think at the moment, that is going to be good. At first I wasn't sure what I was going to think or how it was going to work out, but I'm actually really liking this. I think this looks really nice. What do you think? Have you ever been to Egypt? Do you want to go to Egypt? I would love to go to Egypt so bad. So one of these days I'm hoping that I will make it over there. So anyway, if you liked this, please consider giving it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!